The next speaker would be Ray Finch from the EFDD.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Professor Stiglitz, in your report, Overcoming the Shadow Economy, as well as in the questionnaire which you kindly filled out for the purposes of this hearing, you say the secrecy havens should be cut off from the global financial and economic system, and you list 3 bullet points how this is to be done. Your last bullet point says, we can declare it illegal for any bank to have any correspondence relationship or to interact in any way with any financial institution in a non-cooperative jurisdiction. Could you clarify what you mean by this? You seem to be implying a total isolation of any such jurisdiction from the rest of the world. Do you think it moral that we let people in these countries starve because their nation's financial system does not comply? I believe nations seeking to run their own economies is not a reason to punish ordinary people. And my second question, quickly, sir, is you called President-elect Trump a tax evader. Would you also care to comment on Mrs. Clinton's tax affairs and her financial relationship with multinational companies and Middle Eastern dictatorships who helped to fund their political career and campaign? Thank you.
Thank you. Please.
Okay. The issue of countries that make money by undermining the global economic system seems to me an issue that I addressed earlier in response to the question from Mr. Rosati about sovereignty. There's a notion of responsible sovereignty, and as sovereigns impose costs on others, their country has to pay the cost of that. And the citizens of those countries need to respond and say, we to their government, you cannot get away with imposing costs on others. You can't get away with global warming. You can't get away with pollution of other kinds. And you can't get away with polluting the global economy by your secrecy havens, contributing to whether it's corruption, child prostitution, any of these activities. Those are costs that you are imposing on the rest of our society, and that's unacceptable. Now, unfortunately, when you impose a cost on a country, there will be some innocent victims. That's an inevitable consequence of any form of sanctions. We've imposed sanctions against Russia as it's violated international law and taking over eastern Ukraine. And I think that's the right action to take.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.